publication for the Arch Confraternity of Christian Mothers. It's called Mother Love, the same name that we have for our prayer book. I have copies of the last two editions that we have, and they're pretty good too. This one here, "Oh God, why did I get married?" That's the main article on this one. Of course, you've never asked yourself that question, but I know some people in Pittsburgh that have. And this is available if you would like to take a look at it. Written by one of our priests who's a retired captain in the Navy. A captain in the Navy is a full bird colonel. He's a very wonderful priest too. He's deceased now for a number of years. He had this course over many years for men and women personnel in the Navy in San Diego, California. And one of these couples came to our retreat. I think it was at St. Emma's Retreat House in Greensburg, having picked up this, "Oh God, why did I get married?" And they make their commentary upon it. I wish you would read this. And I wish every junior and senior in high school, before they even think about going steady, would read that little booklet. The subtitle is "Sixfold Intercourse to Complete Wedlock." Not just physical intercourse, but spiritual, emotional, psychological, volitional. Really a wonderful book. I'd like to make that available to you too. And they may be copies of that right now at the Casa Maria, the retreat house, where I will be this weekend, in case you want to come over, at least for part of that retreat. It would really be worth your time, I think. And this edition of the Mother Love Prayer Book is just a general article on the Arch Confraternity. I think this is worth your time, and I invite you to help yourselves to these publications after the talk is over. But what I really want to share with you this evening is I'm really worried about our young people, your children and your children's children. Do you know how many Catholics who are baptized are going to Mass on Sunday right now in our nation? 23%. It's really sad. You look out at the congregation on Sunday morning, where are the junior high school kids, the high school kids, the college kids, the young adults? Generally, they're not there at all. To me, that's really sad. And probably the biggest reason that I can see is that the sisters have left our elementary schools. They were living beautiful religious lives. And I know that too personally, because we used to give them their retreats during the summertime. They give that spillover of their spiritual life to these kids with the greatest credibility and authenticity. It's no longer there. Most of the Catholic schools in the diocese are empty. It's so sad. But the great hope for our nation today, I think, if we could ever get it rolling, would be our mothers and motherhood. It's the answer to the obscene status of our culture today. That's why I invite you to renew your love for, your devotion to Mary, the Mother of God. She's the only one that can really pull us together to bring us back to her divine Son and to the Eucharist. You know, the best thing you can say about any woman is that she is a good mother. Nothing better, nothing truer, nothing more beautiful can be said about the Blessed Virgin Mary than that she is the Mother of God. God was her little baby whom she nursed and clothed just as mothers today love and cherish their little ones. And we know that God would not become man until Mary first had given her consent to be his mother. When God said, "Fiat, let it be done," he created light, he created heaven and earth. But when Mary said, "Fiat," God became man. And she it was on that first Christmas night presented all creation with a little baby. A baby whose name in eternity is God. A baby whose name in time is Jesus. And that's why we have extra reason to be proud of our human race. One of our little girls, probably no more than about 15 or 16 years old, was so loved by God that he who is motherless, without a mother in eternity, chose her to be his mother in time. That's why that great non-Catholic poet Wordsworth could call Mary in the most beautiful line we think ever written in the English language. He called Mary our tainted nature's solitary boast. In the common parlance of Birmingham and Pittsburgh, Mary is the only one we can really brag about. The second person of the Holy Trinity, God the Son, was the only one who ever had or who ever will have the power, the privilege of choosing his own mother. How could God possibly select anyone short of immaculate perfection and call her mother? Mary was a good mother, absolutely the best possible mother. And St. Bonaventure, the seraphic doctor of the Franciscan order, tells us that God could have conceivably made a better world than what he did. But not even Almighty God himself could have made a better mother. And this is exactly what we mean by her immaculate conception. Do not underestimate original sin, the sin of our first parents. Original sin is not just the cause and the root of all moral evil in the world, what you and I might call mortal sin, venial sin. Original sin is also the cause and root of all physical evil in the world. Sickness, suffering, incontinence, Alzheimer's, the nursing home experience, and death itself. And if God could preserve his mother from this, and it was becoming that he do it, why wouldn't he do it? And this is the argumentation that the subtle doctor of the church by the name of John Duns Scotus crystallized the argument with three Latin words: potuit, decuit, ergo facit. God could do this for his mother. It was becoming that he do it. He did it. Say you had the choice of choosing your own mother. I am sure that you would have chosen the mother that God gave you. But say your mother, like mine, had a first stroke on Pentecost Sunday, 1961. A second stroke in the summer of 1962. Say she died August the 11th, 1962. Wouldn't you, if it were in your power to do it, wouldn't you have preserved her from that? And here's God who could do all this for his mother. Do you think he would do less for his mother than you and I would do for our mothers? But 16 and a half years later, our God was ready to enter the human condition, to become one of us. That little heart of his beat against hers for 9 whole months before she gave him to the world on that first Christmas night. And during those 9 months, not even all the angels in heaven could have made Jesus so happy as Mary, his mother. Her body was the natural Eucharist in which God shared communion with human life, thus preparing for that later